Hi, I'm Rick Orlando. I'm here for Farm Fresh to Market at Different Drummers Kitchen in Stuyvesant Plaza. We're going to cook with some fabulous local products. Come on in, let's cook. Okay, so today, the local products that we're going to be featuring, we're featuring 9-pin cider. My pal Alejandro makes this right on Broadway in Albany, New York. And the apples are from Kinderhook, and they're from the Sam Scott Orchard. It's a really hot product. People have fallen in love with cider again, which is good because cider is like the original buzz in New York 100, 200 years ago, and it's good to see it back. We also have some fabulous grass-fed butter. Let me tell you something, this is the stuff that makes you live forever because the ruminants eat the grass that you can't eat, and they get all those minerals from the humus and the dirt, and it gets in their fat, and that's why you have to eat the fat of grass-fed animals. It's good for your heart, it's good for your soul. Kremhild is out of Hamilton, and it's just, you just want to eat it with a spoon, you know, and you could, and we might later. And so we're gonna make some mussels because when I think of cider, I think of cooking with cider, I think of Spain, and I think of the dishes of Andalusia and all the tapas bars, and they use a lot of shellfish there, and cider goes great with shellfish because it's very dry with just a hint of sweetness. So we have some mussels, and these are totally sustainable, farm-raised mussels, rope-grown mussels. Mussels are one of the best farm-raised sources of protein there are. They grow on ropes, they don't damage the ocean, they're fabulous, and they're really cheap and easy to deal with. And if you've never cleaned a mussel before, let me show you how easy it is. You look for the mussels that are open and you discard them, and then you just take a look, and because they're farm raised, they're really clean. They're not like the kind you dig out in between the rocks. But if you see a little bit of that, you know, I can't even, there's one, a little beard. You just kind of, let's find one with a beard. There's no bearded mussels here. Oh well. If there is a beard, you just kind of pinch it and clean it out. But you know what? These are looking great. They cook in about 4 or 5 minutes. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to make these fabuloso mussels. So we're going to start out with butter and a fair amount of it. And again, grass-fed butter is the way to go. This is from the Honest Weight Food Co-op, and we're going to put a fair amount of butter in there because we're feeding 6 people. Think about that. That's not really, that's less than you put on your English muffin. And we've got a nice onion, and we're just going to chop the onion into little shreds like so. And we want to get the onion in there. We want to kind of sweat it. My favorite word, sweat the onion. It sounds nasty, right? We're not really sweating it. Yeah, we're just going to give it a little cookage here. And what you want to do when you're cooking vegetables to get them to release their liquids and get a little color is you add a little salt at that point of cooking, because you don't want to put salt on food. You want the flavor in food. So when I cook, I season just gently every step of the way, a little bit. And at the end, your product is delicious as opposed to just dumping salt on top of it. So I want to get the mussels steaming up a bit. Look at that, huh? Okay, now we're going to add some sazon, some seasoning. I have smoked paprika from Spain, and I have some chipotle chilies from Mexico. These are spicy, and they are smoked jalapenos that are cooked right over the jalapeno plant's branches. Okay? Now, look, this is way too easy. In go the mussels. Give them a little toss. Right? Smell good already? Can you smell it on TV? Come on, I smell it. All right, and now we're gonna finish it off with some of our 9-pin cider. Let me just give my hand a quick rinse here because I'm full of chipotle chilies and that will be hot. Ow. And this is how chefs open bottles because we do it a lot. Quick and easy. And this is what we're gonna steam in is the cider. Now, we wanna get a little aromatic going. We're gonna cover this up and let it steam. But for our aromatic flavors, which are really simple, we're gonna use fresh herbs. Okay, come here, Dillon. Let me show you what's going on. So the mussels, see, they're starting to open up. So now we're gonna finish them off simply with a little more butter, because the first butter was to cook the onions. The second butter is to make that beautiful sauce. We're actually glazing the butter in with the cider, and we're gonna add our herbs. We have fresh thyme, which is earth. Thyme is the dirt, right? It tastes like the earth that it is. And we'll put some sprigs right on top. And then we have tarragon, which is more sweet and more perfumed, almost anise flavored. And we're just gonna give these a stir. And this recipe is available on farmfreshtomarket.com, and as well as many other recipes and also some great journalism. I want you to download it, I want you to try it. Let's give these a shake, and then we're gonna give our friends here in the front row, because they're in the front row, a taste of the mussels. They look pretty much all popped. Give it a whiff. Make sure there's no duds. And we're gonna dump them right out right here. And that's how long it takes in live time to make a fabulous dish of mussels, right? So let me simply grab a spoon right behind me. And I'll give you all a little bit, and then we'll give you some broth, okay? You guys know how to eat mussels, right? I don't have to give you a mussel eating lesson. Hold on, let me give you broth. Don't go yet, you need the juice. They're nothing without the juice. Yeah. Now mussels to me, you know, we were discussing with our audience earlier, back when I was a starving artist in Boston, mussels were the go-to cheap eats. And if you're into like literature and all the real artsy world, going back to the 20s, France or whatever, that's what they all ate. Everybody ate mussels. Mussels were cheap. Mussels and baguettes. Look at that broth. That's the cider mixed with the butter. And you see, it's not like crazily buttery. It's all over the counter because that's the way I pour. That's the way I roll. But you're going to want to get that broth. That is the elixir of love. And that's featuring 9-pin cider. We use the Belgian. That's Creme Hill butter, some sustainable Maine mussels, and some local herbs from Rockledge Herb. From Farm Fresh to Market, I'm Rick Orlando, and I want to watch you eat for a minute. Here's the bread, because you're going to want to do that, and so am I. Get it in there, get that juice. The chipotle's not really hot, just enough, right? We're going to bridge this by doing some of this Belgian cider, open like a chef, to pair with the mussels dish, and you will be in cider heaven right now. When you're tasting delicious food, you want that balance of fat, acid, right? It's like vinaigrette, it's oil and vinegar. The cider adds the acidity, the tartness, the butter balances it. If you didn't have the butter, it'd be too sour. If you didn't have the cider, it would just be mussels and butter, which, it's okay. But the cider adds a little bit, and then if you're really happy, you do what I do here. I'm Rick Orlando. Thank you. From Farm Fresh to Market. Download this recipe online, and there'll be more to come. Let go of all your pain.